right, guys, it is Wednesday night. You know what that means. AEW Dynamite is off the air, and I guess that means BodySlam.net's DynaMic'd Up is on the air. It's Jose Gonzalez.
hmm
It's JPJ. We're back at it again after a great Thanksgiving holiday. JPJ, how the hell are you?
You know, I'm feeling good. Last week was a good holiday week. I love Thanksgiving. I love that little stretch of weekend. And we had we had some wrestling last weekend. We had Full Gear a couple weeks ago that we haven't even talked about because we weren't here last week.
Yeah, which is kind of weird to
Continental,
think about.
I know, yeah. Continental Classic is right in the midst of it. I love it. I love the Continental Classic, and I'm feeling pretty good, man. I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, holiday went good. I mean, things are picking back up in the AFC East. The Bills are still holding on to a wild card spot, which more they can say than other franchises. I will take it. You
What can you say
guys,
about my franchise, real quick?
what do I have to say? You guys are the fucking division leaders.
Best team, best record in the league, MVP favorite, Coach of the Year favorite.
And I will be rooting for the Chicago Bears against you, but that is neither here nor there.
Yeah,
I mean, all I'm gonna say is Drake May.
the Bears aren't making it. I mean, listen, I'm a Patriots fan. I'm always going to root for the Patriots, but I would be shocked if either of those teams. The way the Patriots are playing is nice, but like
Stranger things have happened.
they feel primed to me as like, hey, they're this young. They're not young, but like, yeah, they're this young team that's good again, and then a veteran team kind of comes into Foxborough and potentially beats us on the way to, you know what I mean?
I'm just saying,
But
so
I
I'll
would,
play you guys one more time before.
yeah,
The
I was gonna say,
regular
like, I
season's
wouldn't
over,
be,
so.
I would, we have a bye this week, but like, I wouldn't be shocked if you guys came into Foxborough and beat us next weekend. Why would I? That wouldn't shock me at all.
It might shock me at this point.
It wouldn't shock me. That wouldn't shock me at all.
I mean,
But
I
like,
got shocked watching the way we played against the Steelers. That first half was atrocious, and then they remembered who the hell they were in the second half.
yeah, the Steelers are frauds, though. Frauds, absolute frauds.
As a friend of a family member of Mike Tomlin, I will not be commenting further on that. But that is neither here nor there. We are here to talk about a jam-packed episode of Dynamite because, I mean, this one had a lot going for it from the jump. I mean, before we get into that, just quick overall thoughts coming back from Full Gear and seeing how the C2 and everything's starting. Just quick thoughts on the current state of AEW before we get into World End and winter is coming.
I still think the current state of AEW is very strong and great. I was shocked that Hangman Adam Page lost the world title.
Yeah, that and the way they did it too, because I really didn't see that coming at all.
I didn't see that coming. I'd still, you know me, we love Samoa Joe. We love us some Samoa Joe. I'm not upset that Samoa Joe is the AEW World Champion once again. I still, a couple weeks out, I don't really understand why that happened. Why he lost the title. I still really like. I understand the hook side of it, and they're kind of, the heel turn and whatever. Fine. But I still don't understand why you would take the belt off of Hangman. That still doesn't make sense to me. I know him and Swerve are kind of aligned, and it was to get to the Swerve return, which was the big moment at the end of the show. But I feel like you just could have done that anyway, even with Hangman winning. The Ops beat the shit out of him, and Swerve comes to help him. And I don't know. It just seemed. I expect the title to be back on Hangman sooner than later, but I don't know. I just felt unnecessary to me. I still don't really quite understand it.
Yeah, especially considering the way that things were just being booked for him after all in and everything too. I don't know how long this Samoa Joe reign is going to be because I don't think it's going to be very long.
No.
I also don't think Eddie Kingston's going to win next week. So
me neither.
I don't know.
So yeah, it's weird.
We didn't think that Samoa Joe was going to win at Full Gear, and look at us.
So. I like a good surprise. And that was a big surprise. I just looking at it, I was like, Hangman is just so over, and he was, it was really just the beginning. Like it was only a couple, like he didn't hold it that long. It was just the beginning of this second run. He was having pretty good matches, and yeah, I don't know. And then he loses it, but he's not in the CC. He's kind of, I don't know. Just felt a little weird.
Yeah. Something tells me something's going to happen at World's End where he's going to get a shot at the title again. We'll see what comes of it.
Yeah.
But we do have our show kicking off with Tony Schiavone in the ring because he's going to conduct a little face-to-face with the world champion, 1/3 of the trios champion Samoa Joe, and his new challenger that he called out last week, Eddie Kingston. And, of course, Eddie Kingston, the former teammate of Hook, once Hook left the Ops and everything, too. But, I mean, quite an exchange of words to start out this episode of Dynamite, though.
Yeah, I very much enjoyed this. I liked how Eddie was right to the point. You know, like he was still Eddie, so he's still a little humorous and he's still the way
Yeah.
he is, but he was not fucking around tonight. He
Oh,
was like,
Joe wasn't either, too. I mean,
no,
okay.
I like, yeah.
My favorite part is that everybody's supposed to be banned from ringside, so he tells Tony to get out of the ring before he takes that cheap ass wig
The
off his
wig,
head, which was
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, that
I mean,
was
we saw
good.
that wig on Halloween. It was a good wig, unlike the
Yeah.
Joe Hendry one I had on. But,
Yeah.
Samoa Joe, a man of the people, he's answering all the questions that Eddie Kingston might have before he could even get a chance to ask them. He's not in a suit because when he was talking to his pilot, he's like, wearing a tuxedo in a petting zoo is basically what happens when you're going to Indiana. So the Penguins would appreciate it, but other animals would be too stupid to realize greatness. Why Hook and why Eddie? Hook grew up with a championship legacy, the greatest mentor in the industry in Taz, but he needed to have a complete mentorship, so he needed to see the other side. He's calling Eddie Kingston a second place, a man who's never gotten it done, a man who's nenever crossed the finish line, a man who has been talked about for his potential but never quite fulfills it. And then the third and most important question is what happens next. He's going to walk into this ring. Eddie Kingston he's going to fight his ass off. He's going to bring everything he has to capture the greatest championship in the industry, but he's not going to cross the finish line just like every other time. And Joe says that he could have the consolation knowing it's nothing he did, but Joe's going to be choking him unconscious in the middle of that ring, which gave us a pretty good and brief rebuttal from Eddie Kingston. I can respect that he's a man of few words. He lets his fist do the talking. He's talking about how Joe is held in such high regard as a man who saved the Indies, probably has the greatest Ring of Honor championship reign in history. I'd argue Athena currently does, but I understand like peak Ring of Honor, absolutely. Sold out his soul hard, though. He wanted Hook to learn something from Eddie. He learned perseverance from when someone says no. Someone says, Eddie, yeah, he's a hothead. Why are you with him? But he gets shit done. This Samoa Joe, this isn't the one that he knows or respects. The one that he does, he ran through everybody, showing up with a fighting spirit, what it was meant to be a real heavyweight champion. But what's this? He's jumping people from behind. He's using Hook. He's doing what the old school guys did that he hated and called them out for. Now he's one of them. But you know what? He basically just tells him, if you don't bring the Ring of Honor World Champ, the submission machine, the Joe that made me want to battle and keep going, that beat up my mentor Homicide for years, I'll eat you alive next week. Which was a nice, quick way to get through. I mean, I don't love when shows start with a promo segment, but when it's like quick hits like that and it's all you need to build the world title match next week, I'm all for it.
Yeah, and the way the rest of the show lined up with all the matches and everything we had going on, I kind of liked how they AEW doesn't always start with the promo first. They usually start with wrestling matches first most of the time. So I thought it was a nice change of pace. And when you knew how many matches and like the big matches we had the rest of the evening with the CC and the semifinal with the women's tag and all that, I was kind of glad they got it. Not out of the way because I enjoyed the segment, but they did it first. They were like, let's get this out of the way and then have the wrestling the rest of the show. And I actually thought, I thought this was really good. It was short. It was sweet. It was to the point. We know these two guys are going to beat the absolute piss out of each other next week. And that's what they told each other. I thought Samoa Joe kind of leaned into what everybody kind of leans into when it comes to Eddie. Oh, you're a loser. You never quite won. You're this guy. I would like to see maybe a different angle when people are fighting Eddie than using the same, it's the same thing Punk said. It's the same thing. Yeah.
No, I get it. I mean,
you know what I mean?
You could only kind of do like so much with a paint by numbers kind of promo, but the problem is just we also really haven't seen Eddie get a long-term program in so long for them to try to do something differently. So you kind of have to hit with, okay, what do we know about him from past?
Exactly.
The way to get cheap heat. Because that's what it felt like. It was just trying to get cheap heat. It wasn't really.
And he started off by making fun of the crowd and with the outfit and stuff. Pluggo was in the audience, so.
Indiana's own Pluggo.
Yeah, so obviously, I doubt Pluggo was dressed up. So maybe Samoa Joe was directly talking to him. I don't know. But no, I thought it was good. I thought Eddie's rebuttal was really good. I love the last line where he's like, if you're not that old guy that I looked up to, like, I'm going to eat you alive, man. I'm going to ruin you. Like, you better be that guy. And I thought it was really good, and I expect it to be quite brutal, that match.
I think it's going to be a nice, hard-hitting affair. I'm looking forward to it. You also get more backstage stuff with the ops. So you have Hook talking about how Joe's going to finish off Eddie next week, and then Powerhouse Hobbs saying everybody's looking for, maybe another shot at the trios titles. But he said on Ring of Honor that there was a team that impressed him, and that being the Dark Order. So if they win tonight, they get a shot at the trios titles. And then, of course, Shibata says something super quick, but then Hook's talking about, well, I mean, they're good friends of Hangman, so maybe this will get his attention. And then that kind of leads us into the beginning of C2 action for the evening. So we're going to start things out with the Gold League. We got Pac of the Death Riders going against the Don Callis family. I guess right now he's just the international champion.
Yeah, they explained it later in that promo. Listen, I love the CC. I love the matchups we're getting. Okada and Pac, the ones we'll talk about later in the night too. Like I love everything about this, but I just feel like they just made it so much more complicated. Listen, pick whatever fucking belt this is gonna be for, or whatever it's gonna be. How about it's not for a belt at all? How about if you win the CC, you just get a fucking world title shot? Why is that hard? Is that not the most simple thing? Hey, if you win the CC, the finals at World's End, the first pay-per-view or the first big Dynamite or whatever of the new year, you get a world title shot. Okay, cool. You established the title the last couple years, the Continental Championship, fine. Then we did all this hullabaloo to unify the championships. And now all of a sudden, Okada's like, nope, I'm going to forfeit one of these titles just so I can. It makes no fucking sense, Jose. I have no idea what's going on.
So for those that don't know the history of mid-card championships in AEW, we start out with the TNT title. So we have the TNT title right here. And then later on down the line, they decide, we need another mid-card title. So we bring in the international title, or whatever the hell it was called before. It was called the international title. So these were the two cornerstones. And then like, you know what? Now we're going to have this tournament. We need to bring in another title for that tournament, which brings us to the Continental Championship. So now you got 3 mid-card titles for the men. And then we eventually you end up with the Continental Championship on Okada because he wins the C2 and he holds on to it. And then somehow along the line, you get Kenny Omega winning the international title. The TNT title is over here doing fuck whatever. So eventually you get to All In. These 2 titles become one, becoming the unified title.
Unified title.
Yes. And then now, after we have the unified title and the TNT title, we decide, we need another mid-card title. So now we have the national championship. So now we got 3 mid-card titles again. And then after we crown the first national champion, we're basically ununifying the unified title to bring us back to, now, count with me. We got the TNT title. We got the national title, the international title, and the continental title all separately together.
So so in order to be the unified champion, you need to be the international and the continental champion?
Yes.
So if you're creating the unified championship, why is that just so that's not around anymore? So the unified championship is just not around right now because nobody's a unified champion.
So the unified championship, which we will get into, is basically a way to symbolize both the international and the continental title when someone is a double champion with one belt.
Okay.
Even though
so what if
all 3?
Yeah, I was gonna say. So like, let's just say Samoa Joe right now. So all right, Samoa Joe's the heavyweight champion. Let's just say that Samoa Joe won the international championship. He wouldn't be the unified champion. He would just be a double champion.
Right, because the main plate of the unified championship is the crown from the continental championship.
Whatever. It's whatever. Again, I love this tournament, but it's just whatever.
The tournament was never the problem. It was always the championship picture.
Yeah, it just feels so stupid and convoluted and just extra. It doesn't need. How about it's the Continental Classic, and because Okada's the defending champion of it, it's for the unified championship.
Yeah, you would think it would be the whole unified title, but why would AEW do that? That makes too much sense.
I was going
to say, do I need to bring up the woman with the blackboard again about like how things are being explained to us in AEW?
So if Okada wins this again, he's once again the unified champion. But exactly. if anybody else wins it, they're just the continental champion. So then Okada is still the international.
Yes.
Whatever, man. Whatever.
And this is why we drink and or garden.
Whatever, man.
But anyways, Pac versus Okada is our opening contest. We have Don Callis specifically on commentary for the first 2 matches of the C2 tonight because Continental rules state nobody is allowed at ringside as a manager. Mm-hmm. But Don Callis, of course, being the color commentator that he was back in TNA, Bless his heart. He was there. There was commentary.
Yeah.
But I mean, starting off with Pac and Okada,
Oh.
This is a really good opener.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Pac has been great since he's come back this go around here.
Oh man, he's been phenomenal.
He's been phenomenal. He's always been jacked, but I feel like he's more jacked than ever. He's yoked.
Well, he's like bulked and jacked
Yeah,
at the same time.
just huge.
Yeah.
I actually, here's my thing. We didn't have a show last week.
No, we didn't.
But I picked that Fletcher was going to beat Okada last week, and I said that's going to be Okada's only loss was to Fletcher. So I expected Okada to win this match, but I also, I think the Continental Classic to me is very loaded this year. Like it's super duper loaded.
Yeah, I'd say it's more loaded than usual. And then the interesting foil to it is that you have a lot of tag teams and stables in the tournament on the same brackets.
Yeah, you have 3 members of the Callis family in here. You have 3 members of the Death Riders in here. Like you have Jet Speed in there. They're in the same group. So we're going to see Kevin Knight versus Speedball in a first round matchup, which is awesome. And that's great. That's part of the reason why I love the CC. And it's for this too. Okada and Pac on a Wednesday. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for this. This match was great. I thought it was a perfect opening match of the night. The CC brings out big match Okada in every match. And yeah, this was tremendous. Okada winning by reversing the brutalizer, which I thought was a good little finish at the end. Yeah. And yeah, I expect Okada to be there at the end again of this CC. So, he loses the upset to Fletcher last week, if you want to call it that. He loses the upset to Fletcher. And we'll talk about Fletcher in a little bit. And I thought that this was a good bounce back for Okada against a really formidable opponent in Pac. And, talking about Full Gear, and we'll talk about Moxley way later at the end of the show. I think that they're kind of positioned, this is leading to something we've been talking about for a while. And I think Pac and the way he's been presented since he's been back, I could easily see him kind of sliding into that leader-ish role if they decide to do so.
But we'll talk about it.
But we'll talk about
it.
We have
the event to get to. Something I want to put over though. Brian Danielson said on commentary that Pac had Okada's first AEW pay-per-view match, and they mentioned that one going over 21 minutes, and then Okada eventually winning. That can't happen again in the Continental Classic because that would mean a draw.
Yep.
So they really emphasized trying to get it done in 20. And it really came down to just countering a submission into a roll-up for Okada to get his first point to the tourney. But I mean, they were laying in the heavy lumber on this one. We got to see a beautiful German suplex that Pac hit on Okada. That was a near fall. And then it seems like he had control. And then, he gets hit with a tombstone. And then, that top rope brainbuster. And it was such good stuff to open this tournament. I'm so glad that this was the first bit of action we got tonight because it set the tone for the whole night.
100%. 100%. I thought this was a great setup for the rest of the night because we had great matches all night.
Yeah, I don't think there was one that we can kind of call a dud because we knew kind of going in it was probably going to be a dud, but aside from that, it pretty much held the same standard of wrestling throughout the whole night, which I can appreciate.
I agree.
And also kind of looping back a little bit to Full Gear, the new TNT champion, Mark Briscoe, who got it done.
I didn't see that one. Again, I'm happy it happened. It was well overdue. But I didn't think Fletcher was going to lose that either. I thought we were going to get Briscoe and the Callis family and doing some funny / fucking
until
with
I saw
Briscoe
that
type
package,
stuff.
I was fully in the Fletcher camp, and then I'm like, he's winning.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it was, from what I saw, it was pretty fucking good too. But Mark Briscoe, he's backstage. He talks about how it was a year ago where him and Daniel Garcia faced off a couple times, one in the Continental Classic and then for the TNT title. And he talks about how the record was tied 1-1. He thought it was the real deal. He's game. But a year later, how things have changed. So now Mark Briscoe's the TNT champion. In his opinion, Garcia is not one that it once was. So, he's on a Death Rider's death spiral. He wants a shot, but he goes to my face trying to say he could take it. But then he backs off. He's trying to play mind games. He's trying to be like John Moxley, but I don't play mind games or any games. So he went to Tony Khan. He made the match official. Next week, winner is coming from Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know why he said Cardiff, Wales.
I think that's in 2 2 weeks. They're in Manchester.
Yeah.
They're doing an
They're
England
going to
thing.
the
What, in a
UK
couple weeks?
around Christmas, yeah.
Yeah. Probably just misspoke.
So it's like after winter's coming, they go to the UK, and then after that, they're in Hammerstein to close out the year. But
yeah.
But and next week we got a TNT title match: Daniel Garcia versus Mark Briscoe. I'm excited
that'll be
for this
good.
one.
Mm-hmm. That'll be very good.
Do I think Garcia's going to win the title back? Hell no.
Nope.
But it's
Nope.
going to be a fun one.
Oh, sure will be.
But also on the topic of champions, the first ever AEW National Champion Ricochet was backstage with The Demand. He talked about over the last few days he's had his phone on Do Not Disturb because promoters keep begging him to save their companies and give their talent an opportunity. But people forget, like, he's not just a champion. He's a viral sensation for every company he's ever worked for, but he's also a humanitarian. Doing miserable charity work, defending that championship at Ring of Honor Final Battle this Friday against Dalton Castle. But you know what? Since Columbus is a cold, miserable place, he's going to stay an extra day for Collision to do another act of charity for the national title on Collision. Open challenge there. And, of course, GOA backs him up saying, if you don't follow demands, you get put down.
Now, did he say that it was his debut in Ring of Honor on Friday? I'm pretty sure he said that, right? Has he never fought? Now, again, early Ring of Honor, I was not up
I genuinely don't think so.
He's never fought in Ring of Honor ever?
I mean, we could pull up Cage Match. Hold up.
I guess I'm not shocked, but I kind of am. I just assumed his indie run, he would have at least had a match there. But I guess not. Because I'm pretty sure he said it was his debut, like my Ring of Honor debut on Friday.
Let's see. We're going to say ROH. Okay, he's had technically 2 matches. So he had a dark match in 2009 at Survival of the Fittest, which was a 6-man tag.
Okay.
But when they were doing the Jericho Cruise at the beginning of the year, he was on Ring of Honor technically when he faced Serpentico. It just ended up airing on ROH instead of any AEW.
Got it. So this is like technically like his first official, I guess. Well, his first pay-per-view, obviously. But, all right, yeah. Look, I'm cool. I hope sooner or later, probably after the holidays would be my guess, that he will actually start kind of traveling around and hitting up indies and defending that title, because that's the whole point of that title. So, he's a perfect guy to have it. He's a perfect guy to have it. It's a great choice for the first. I'm digging it. it.
And also just like one of those people that just kind of made sense for him to be the first, because, I mean, we talked about, so they're not doing the trios titles with them right now. He's still kind of feuding with Hurt Syndicate, but not really. So it's like, okay, what do? We give him the belt. GOA doesn't need titles right now. So it makes total sense.
100%. I agree.
But we also get yet another talking segment. Now, this time it's the conglomeration and Roderick Strong backstage with Renee. Talking about how Saturday on Collision, it's Roderick and Orange Cassidy going one-on-one in the Blue League. And Mark Briscoe is talking about how the word of the day is retribution. Neither one of them won their first matches in the tournament, so someone's got to win. But Roddy, being the hothead that he is, reiterates he's not in the conglomeration. He's going to beat OC's ass to win the tourney. And then they started to talk about conglomeration rules, but before we could even get into that, Roddy calls OC an idiot and that he'll break his back. He bumps him on the way out, and then Orange just kind of turns to Renee like, you didn't see me there.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I still like it. I like Roddy, just not. He's like, nah, man.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling this. I'm not feeling this. I'm not a part of this. I'm gonna do what I have to do, but I'm just around because I like Kyle.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, how long until he starts yelling Kyle's name like he was yelling Adam Cole's?
Yeah.
Do we got to bring back?
They should do. Yeah, they should do it soon. They should do it soon.
Kyle.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, it'd be hilarious. But something that ain't funny is Darby Allin apparently is in the hospital as a precaution after last week. Not cleared currently for Continental Classic action, so we'll see Saturday if we have any updates.
Yeah.
Really selling the ill effects of that Blood and Guts match, which Side note, can we just talk about, I know this isn't a WWE show, but holy shit did War Games disappoint me this year.
Oh, it sucked.
Not even comparing it to Blood and Guts, but just by their own standards. What the
sucked.
hell was that?
It was brutal. Both of them sucked. The women's win was just boring. It wasn't like weapons? It was. Yeah, it was just boring. And then the men's one was one of the biggest lumps of shit I've ever seen.
Like, honestly, like, and it's a shame too, because like they've had some good ones even on the main roster, but like the women's one felt like they just happened to be inside the cage.
Yeah.
And like they had like the two main spots, just EO like doing the double team with Rhea and then jumping off the cage with a trash can. Whoop de doo.
Yeah,
But
it
like,
was not great. Not great at all.
I don't know. I mean, it's a good thing that we got some alternatives these days. I mean,
Yeah,
we've got
look at
AEW doing well. I mean, TNA is going to be on AMC.
which was great news, which is
Yeah.
great news. Yeah, I mean, I thought in general, I know this is an AEW show, but I thought that yeah, those both those matches were disappointing. If Dom and Cena wasn't on that show, and I thought Stephanie and Nikki was fine,
Yeah, like the actual War Games matches themselves were the
yeah,
letdown.
yeah, I think the other two non-War Games matches were the only redeeming qualities of the show.
Yeah.
So it was just bizarre, but whatever.
And also, Survivor Series, one, doesn't need to be in a stadium ever again, and two, this does not need to be an annual event the same way the Royal Rumble does. I'm sorry. Treat this like Hell in a Cell.
I think, yeah, the War Games thing, if you're not going to be creative with it and you're going to let it kind of do what it did, I do feel like it will lose its luster, much like Hell in a Cell lost its luster because the matches just weren't creative after a certain way. It was just the same old, you knew what you were getting. It's a Hell in a Cell match, and that's how the War Games matches are becoming relatively quickly. I love the baseball stadium aesthetic with wrestling. I think that is a perfect type of atmosphere because it's just kind of in the middle where it's a big stadium, but just the baseball vibe of it. I dig it. I thought the show from an arena standpoint, like when they show, I thought it looked great, but you got to have a better show. If you're going to be in a big stadium like that, you got to put on a better show. Like you just have to put on a better show. But WWE, again, I feel like they've been putting on mid shows for like 6 months now.
Yeah.
So I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. R.I.P. to Larry though.
Yeah, no. R.I.P. to Larry Brooks, the icon that you are.
You see his entrance now from Survivor Series, and it means a little bit different.
Yeah.
You know, he was wearing the Larry's dad. He was wearing the Larry's dad on his jacket. When he went down to do the clobbering time, he kind of like grabbed it. And in the moment it's happening, I'm watching it live, and I don't even think anything of it. I'm just like, oh, CM Punk's here.
Yeah.
Cool. And then obviously he makes the announcement on social media on Monday, which is heartbreaking. And then you go back and you kind of see it and you're like, oh, fuck. Like he went to work knowing that it was probably, that's probably
AJ did too.
Yeah. Like that's a tough day for but.
Well, I mean, back to this. I mean, and kind of just to make it full circle, I mean, for the AEW side of things, Blood and Guts, I don't think that necessarily has to be an annual event either. Granted, they always rise to the occasion of what the match entails. So if they do it annually, it somehow still feels organic and not always forced, just because they will kind of do it when they think it's necessary to do it. It just happens to happen once a year. Now, I'm very curious to see what next year looks like. Maybe no Blood and Guts, no War Games, and really see how they kind of emphasize different programs to bring them back later on.
Yeah. And look at, that's how wrestling should be. I feel like if why things like that lose their luster is because they're coming. Oh, War Games. Oh, Blood and Guts is coming in a month. Oh,
TLC is coming in a month.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Hell in a Cell's in a month. And then you start seeing the feuds on the shows and you're like, oh, well, they're clearly building to the thing that's coming in a month. It should be more organic. Like those matches should still happen. And if they happen once a year, still fine. But it should be more organic where it kind of like the viewer finds out like, oh, shit, maybe this is leading to War Games or Blood and Guts and not, oh, War Games is in 3 weeks. So they have, this is what it just needs to be more organic and just random as opposed to, hey, this is the show. We have to have these 2 matches. It's like, okay, well, you don't.
Yeah, like it seems more and more like when we have like these routine scheduled like stipulation events, like it doesn't feel like they're the destination anymore. They feel like they're just part of a journey to a later destination.
100%.
The only difference I can really think of is when you have something like when you get the casino gauntlet matches, or you get like the Money in the Bank matches, where it's a means to an end for that to be the big moment. Like I'm okay with like having an annual ladder match or having like an annual tournament or something, because it's not about what the tournament or the match is. It's about what comes out of it, because that's what the implications are.
Agreed. Agreed. We're not complaining about the CC for the 3rd straight year.
No, I'm not complaining about That at
You know what
all.
I'm saying?
And on top of that, you also can always change the combatants in it too. And this year, they've really leaned into the stable civil warfare of it all, which I think makes it a much more interesting field than we've gotten.
100%.
Instead of it just being someone turning around like last year, you had Daniel Garcia. He wins the TNT title from Jack Perry and immediately declares himself for the tournament, which kind of immediately
killed this whole reign.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're learning from their mistakes from last year, which I can.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
On to what I would.
Match of the night.
Yeah, it is match of the night. I was going to say, too, this or the main event, but no. The Proto Star Kyle Fletcher going one-on-one with Kevin Knight. Both of them already had 3 points coming into this match. And
Kevin Knight, let me tell you. All right? I love jet speed. This guy, by the end of this tournament, he is a singles star by the end of this tournament. Like, it's not...
the same thing about Mike Bailey, too. That's
100%. 100%. That match that he had with Darby last week was a star-making... Like, he's already kind of had star-making performance. That was a star-making performance by Kevin Knight. And I'm glad they gave him the victory, too, because he should have won. And the fact that he won that match was huge. And then he has this match with Kyle, who... They're setting up Kyle to be there at the end at this tournament early on in his first 2 matches. This match was incredible with these two guys. Just back and forth, as you would expect, both of them showing their athleticism, their strength, their high flying. But, man, I just think that this whole thing is going to be a coming out party for Kevin Knight. This is just...
It's got to be.
My God.
It's just got to be, because the things that they were doing this match, everything was so either impactful or the speed was on, or it was just no notes. Genuinely no notes. And I love how it got multiple "This is awesome" chants. It had the crowd electric throughout the whole thing. And then the false finishes that we got were insanely close.
Yep. The coast, and the coast to coast, he did again. Kevin Knight with ease.
Got countered, and then it looked like Fletcher was going to get that brainbuster the first time, but he didn't. But then he really got those 2 big kicks in, including the one in corner, and then hit the brainbuster to get the win. Fletcher, but that's real tournament right now.
Yeah, real good stuff. Just really, really, really good stuff. Yeah. I want to see these guys again. This was excellent. Like you said, no notes. This was just from the beginning to the end. I was invested. I was in it. Eyes glued to the TV screen. Both these guys, the AEW is in real good hands for a long, long time. And these guys are 2 top of the card, top of the franchise, top of the company caliber dudes. I think this is a match and potentially a rivalry that we will see for many years to come. They'll be fighting for world championships against each other sooner than later. Yeah, this was tremendous.
And then after the match, Don Callis now no longer confined to the rules of Continental rules, but he makes his way out to the ring, mic in hand, talking about, like, you know what? We are on to business. We got to talk about the Young Bucks, but him being the swell man that he is, decides to do a little post-match interview with Kyle. And he's like, you know what? Not doing great, Don. But then they play that off, and then you see Hechicero come out with Josh Alexander. They have the bags of money after the Young Bucks had realigned themselves with Kenny Omega at Full Gear after they had ended up already winning that $6-man $1 million match. But as before we could get to that, you just see the cameras cut to commercial break as Don is lecturing the crowd. We come back, he's still lecturing the crowd.
Of course.
And then he talks about, you know what, Bucks, you could lie to me and I'd forgive you. You could cheat at me, I'd forgive you. Like, I've forgiven so much worse, but the one thing that I can't forgive, the unforgivable sin, is siding with Kenny Omega, which leads to the Bucks charging the ring. You get a super kick party taking out whoever's at ringside. And then Don's on the outside. You see that Nick and Matt have the money in hand, and they're about to make their way out. But Okada blindsides Nick Jackson, hits the Rainmaker. And then as Matt Jackson's getting ready to turn around, or no, I had that flipped, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say reverse that.
Yeah. And then Nick Jackson kind of gets ambushed by Hechicero and Josh Alexander as well. You see them working his leg. Then Matt's getting mounted by Hechicero. Jurassic Express coming out to make the save. You see a big old-school moonsault by Jack Perry to the floor. Takes out Hechicero and Josh Alexander. And then in the ring, you see a low blow to Luchasaurus by Okada. As it looks like Perry's about to get in the face of Okada. Okada flips him off. He bites the finger, but sure enough, there's even more members of the Don Callis family when O'Clone and Mark Davis make their way out. And now to even the odds after that, insert Kenny Omega himself. He comes out to the ring. He clears house. And then it looks like Okada's about to hit the Rainmaker on him, but no, he counters it, hits a Snapdragon suplex, goes for the V-trigger, and then Okada rolls out of the ring. And it is the newly reformed Elite in the ring standing tall, but the Don Callis family leaves with the money up the ramp.
Mm-hmm.
Good to the point segment.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell match we're going to get at World's End with them, or if it's going to be something else.
Yeah. Is it going to be Anarchy in the Arena or some nonsense?
Do they do Anarchy in the Arena aside from Double or Nothing?
They usually don't, but see, we were just talking about organically building to a Blood and Guts or a War Games or something like that. That would make sense right here. This is something that would make sense.
But we also thought that for a moment we weren't going to get Blood and Guts this year because they also had that 10-man steel cage match where the cage was like purgatory in a cell, I guess, because it wasn't quite Hell in a Cell, but it went around the entire.
This is clear.
Will some stipulation out, and it'll make total sense, but it won't be anything that we usually see them do, and I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where this goes. I did like the fact that Kenny and Okada got physical here again, but. I want to see where this goes because if this is going to go at World's End, I'm expecting Okada to be in the finals of the Continental Classic. Yeah, so he won't be involved.
I expect him to be in the finals alongside Konosuke Takeshita because he's on the Blue League.
Correct.
Is that not what they've been building for months now?
I think that's what it is. That is what's going to happen. So that means that if they have a multi-person match involving this thing right here, Okada's not involved in that.
And I don't think he needs to be because think about how many damn members you have of the Don Callis family anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Okada, you got Takeshita. Those two are already alienated because of that. You got Mark Davis, you got O'Clone, you got Josh Alexander, you got
Fletcher,
you got Fletcher, you got Roppongi
Brent
Vice,
and Rock. Yeah.
Like, and
there's
then
more.
If Andrade
I think there's
comes
more.
back
Lance Archer's in there.
Yep. So 11 with Don Callis, you have 12 members.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Just know that I am a grandchild of one had 15 siblings, another had 16 siblings. I got cousins up the ass, and even then, you won't see me with that many people in my family at the same time as the Don Callis family.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of them.
It makes sense.
There's a lot of them.
Good Lord.
Yep.
But thankfully, there's only two Babes of Wrath who are making their way into the finals of the Women's World Tag Title Tournament, which I did not see coming.
I love it. I said that's what I didn't think it was going to happen, but I was like, I want the Babes. I thought because, we were chatting last time we chatted and we were like, Timeless Love Bombs and Sisters of Sin seems to be the way we would think that this is going to go.
Yeah.
And I on here, I was like, wouldn't it be great if they went the other way and it was the Babes of Wrath versus Megan Bayne and Marina? And then you just had that crowd at World's End losing their fucking mind, wanting the Babes of Wrath to win. And I was half right.
Yeah,
I was half right.
Yeah,
I'm pulling for them completely pulling for them.
At this point, I think so too. But this tournament's been so fucking unpredictable, and I mean that in the best way.
Yeah,
because
good.
Wow.
I was going to say,
go ahead.
Oh Jesus, no, we're obviously going to talk about this match.
Yeah.
And they obviously did at Full Gear. I feel like they should have just had the two semifinal matches at Full Gear, but they did the 4-way with the stipulation, which led to this. And I get it. It's holiday time and stuff like that. I would have preferred this match to not have a stipulation.
Yeah, I agree.
But other than that, I mean, it was still a fun time. But I would have, and I understand why they do it because it's big bad Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir, and this gives them the even playing field, I guess.
This isn't gonna come out the way I wanted to, but I feel like doing it as a stipulation also kind of protects Marina a little bit.
That's fair.
Just because she's not the one that's always getting put in these standard matches, and then obviously she wrestles a style that's very different from the other girls. I feel like you can mask a little bit of that behind having weapons added to it. I mean, I'm never gonna complain when we get Plunder with the women's division AEW. I mean, they just do it well.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. The match was more than good. Like, it was a good time. I just in general, I would have liked to have seen more of a standard tag match. I think they would have given us something.
Because if you're not doing it for one side, why are you doing it to the other?
Yes, and I think it was Danielson who said on comment, it might have been Shivani, but one of them said on commentary, they were like, I think no matter who comes out of this, like, you're not really helping yourself out next week for the final.
It's Brian that said that. You're right.
It was Brian. Yeah. Like, he's like, you're not really helping yourself out. Even the winners are going to feel like they're going to have damage done to them because of this style of match. So you're not really helping yourself either by picking this stipulation, which I thought was a good little thing to throw in there because it's true.
I mean, people forget. I mean, there's been tournaments up the wazoo on AEW, but like the whole point of a tournament is that it's a battle of attrition and you got to be durable.
Yes.
So doing something so reckless by you could have chose quite literally any stipulation. It could have been just a finger poke of doom match to sustain yourself. No, you went full gusto. We're going to have a death match. Yep. And it's going to be sapphic. It's going to be lesbianic. It's going to be all the things. It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Santa Claus even made his way out to the ring, but
sure
it wasn't any Santa I know. It was Luther.
Yeah. And they had the
gift box ended up being a bird. And then the thumbtack covered shoe that Tony Storm is so eloquently able to crack Marina Shafir in the head with for the 1, 2, 3. But I mean, it was just a really fun match. I don't think this had to be in the tournament this way.
Mm-hmm.
Especially considering the fact that you just had Blood and Guts 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
But hey.
I mean, listen, again, it was a good time.
Yeah.
And we're in the finals, and I think we're setting up for a good finals next week. 2 babyface teams.
Which I did not see coming at all.
Yeah. So I think, that the fans are going to be happy every which way. I personally think it should go to the Babes of Wrath. Personally.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be shocked if they strap Tony and Mina. I mean, come on now. Those are.
I don't.
But I think
the way.
You won't, and I think the fans are going to be happy, and we'll be happy. Us too. We'll be happy either way. I just think now that the Babes of Wrath are in the finals, I feel like you almost got to do it. You almost got to do it.
Yeah.
I feel like those two, like Willow is beloved, and she's been deserving of something more for a while now, and Harley has turned herself into one of the most entertaining and best people in the company. Like, I just feel like that would be like a fitting, like, here you go. You're our first ever champs.
It does lead to my theory, though. So here's my theory. I still think that it's going to be the Timeless Love Bombs that win the tag titles. You can have Willow venture off into a world title path with Chris. I mean, right now it looks like it's probably going to be Jamie Hayter first. Whether that happens at World's End or if they're going to do it in the UK on Dynamite before, that remains to be seen. But right now, Mercedes, she's doing stuff with the Ring of Honor TV.
She's going to lose on Friday.
I don't think she's going to lose that fast.
Oh, I think she's losing.
To Red Velvet? You think that she's going to drop it right back?
The way she dismissed her and talked about her in that promo tonight? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Just beat her like what, 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago? Oh, yeah.
If it wasn't so soon,
I think she's losing.
So
you could see, we're not there yet, but you could see the cracks.
Losing the TBS title first to someone like a Harley Cameron. Because that just makes sense because they have the history there, but also Harley is not the same wrestler she was in February that she is now.
Yep.
She's improved immensely. Oh, God.
I don't know. I just got that vibe when they did, and I know that's ahead of where we are, but like,
I know. Well, I mean, it's like the next segment over.
I just got that vibe when Renee mentioned, and she did that pause, and she was like, "I'm 13 belts. Does that sound like blah 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 to you?" Yeah. And she was like, "Oh, please, Red Velvet," and she just dismissed her so much, like, "Please, I've already beaten you. You're nothing." I'm like, "You're losing." I said, "You're gonna lose," and that. Probably won't, but like, I don't know. I just got that vibe. I was like, "Oh, I think you might lose."
I mean, the wild card to me right now is just that Athena is facing Persephone for the women's world title at Final Battle, and then of course you also have the stuff going on with the women's pure.
The pure, right? Yeah.
So my thing is, where the hell? No, Billy Starks is in the pure tournament. That's why. Okay.
I think she'll be in the final. Are they in the final?
I think it's Deonna Purrazzo in the final.
That's the semifinal is her and Billy. They wouldn't face in the final.
No, I think the semifinal is her and Amanado.
Yeah, it's Deonna. It's Deonna and Amanado, and then it's Billy and Yuka Sakazaki.
Yeah, so I think Deonna and
so I think it could be Deonna and Billy would be the final on the pay-per-view on Friday.
But I think
are they doing all? Doing all of them?
Are they doing?
Are all three of them on the pay-per-view, or is it just the finals?
It's just the finals. So
they're doing the semifinals on Thursday.
Finals. Yeah.
Yeah, I expect that to be Deonna versus Billy.
Yeah, and I think Deanna should win it too, if we're being honest. You talk about pure wrestling, like she's the technical wrestler of Ring of Honor right
I
now.
agree. Look, I'm still of the belief that Billy Stark should still be the one that beats Athena.
Which I don't know.
But they've already blown that twice already. So,
twice in the main event of Final Battle, no
yes,
less. Back-to-back years. Meanwhile, the AEW Women's Division can't get a fucking main event on pay-per-view.
The first one I'll give you, because that's kind of the master beating the student.
Last one at Hammerstein,
the second one, how the
gear?
Fuck does she not win? How the fuck?
Not winning
that's the whole story.
How you knew that Athena was going to hit 1,000 days.
Yes, but like it's like, dude, the whole story is she fought her before, and the master was better than the student. When they fight again, the student beats the mat. It's a story that's been told in every facet.
She rejoined MIT, which made it even worse. And they picked out Lexi Nair, who was not even a wrestler, but an interview.
Yeah.
And then you wonder why Ring of Honor doesn't have a TV deal, but TNA does.
Well, listen, after some of the fucking decisions TNA has made, how the fuck did they get that TV deal? But anyway. I know why, because they're in cahoots with WWE. That's why. But anyway,
I think it's that they're in cahoots with WWE. It's that WWE's poaching them.
Yeah, but I don't know the details. But is there a way that because of this TV deal, that the business partnership with WWE might not?
No, they said
continue.
It's still going to be okay.
Okay, all right, fair.
Well, my thing is, I don't know why they would have it would be fine with them on Access on a smaller network, and then they moved to AMC and it's a larger one. Why that would be the issue?
Yeah.
Because it's not even like they promote like the next episode of Impact on NXT that often. They seldom do. You can mention other networks on the CW. The same way you do for WWE programming. And
you don't think AMC is going to want them mentioning NXT or anything WWE related every so often when they want to? Yeah. Of course they will. They'll be like, yeah. Oh, you want to bring a WWE affiliated person on the show tonight? Yeah, please do. Yeah. Please do. Thank you. We want people to watch.
If we get on this new network and we come into a period where they go dark and it's just compilation shows,
can't do it.
I am going to lose my shit.
The only time, in my opinion, the only time a wrestling company, but the only time a wrestling company should even consider going dark with taped episodes or things like that is holidays. Yep. That is the only time. So when you have somebody win your world title in October, you shouldn't be going dark right after that. That does not make sense.
Have him appear anywhere on TV with the belt. He doesn't.
No, he should have shown. I was gonna say he should have shown up in NXT. Yeah,
he's announced for indie dates as the TNA World Champion, and then the weekend before, you decided a live episode. Hey, we're gonna use our call your shot, and then just immediately take the belt off him when he hasn't done anything with it. His reign is literally one episode of Impact.
Yeah, stupid.
It just happened to be a month later.
Yeah. So dumb. Anyway,
but I mean, now to go back to the relevant conversation at hand. I mean, we had the Dark Order backstage. Evil Uno was kind of cutting a promo. Then they end up seeing Hangman catch up to them and everything. And before he could even say anything, it's Alex Reynolds kind of talking him off the ledge, like, "Hey, I know you're looking for blood, but don't ruin this for us." Mm-hmm. After the match, they're yours, and that was good enough.
I liked it. Before that, we got the Hater Statlander thing.
Oh yeah, with
real quick, and I loved Hater afterwards being like, we're not really friends, but we'll take care of business. And then after you and I will have a conversation. And Statlander's like, what is that about? And she just kind of like lowers her glasses and looks at the world title. Mm-hmm. And it's like that. And I was like, okay, yep, I'm in on that.
Yeah, I mean, that might be the World's End match.
That would be great.
A world title match to have too. If it's anything close to when Jamie faced off with Tony at Full Gear a few years ago, where it's just like beating the shit out of each other, Stat's the perfect person to do that with. Oh my gosh.
100%. So I like that. I love Dark Order getting on TV.
I hate that it's taken them this long to get back on TV like this.
Yeah, but still, like the fact that they were on TV, they had they had the little backstage thing, and then they had the mat. Like, good. They should be on TV more.
Yeah.
At one point they were one of the most loved over acts in your whole company, and then you just kind of forgot about them, and obviously things happened there, but
things happen, members have faded out within the company, some even left the company.
But these three guys should be a regular trios team. Like, they should just be a trios team that is in that division and just they're funny. They're good wrestlers, really good wrestlers. They're hilarious. They can do serious. They can do whatever they should be on TV. So I was at least glad that they were on this show multiple times throughout the show.
Do I hate they practically got squashed?
Yeah.
Kind of,
I mean, it is what it is. But
in due time, we will see the Dark Order hopefully get their edge back. I would love to see them have like one more big like trios run on the AEW main roster. I mean,
I agree.
Is it sad that we kind of have to say the main roster in AEW now compared to Ring of Honor, which is kind of crazy to say that Ring of Honor is now like a farm territory instead of it being its own thing? But
yeah,
I mean, it's just the state of the biz. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But we do also immediately after the match. I mean, Hangman made good on that. Bell rang. You see him come through the crowd. He has that shield chain. He goes after Hobbs and Shibata. Hook fleed out of there quicker than a hiccup. I don't know where the hell he went.
But, he disappeared.
Before he could actually finish his 2-on-1 onslaught that he was given to Shibata and Hobbs, security breaks it up. And Hangman, saying, fuck you guys for not letting me hit the buckshot onto Hobbs. I'm going to hit it on you instead. And this is already after he had hit Hobbs with a fucking beer bottle, too, no less. So
Yeah, no, that was good. Hook got out of there immediately. Hook's out of there.
I didn't even see him leave the ring. That's how quick he got.
Me neither. Yeah, it was gone. I thought this was fine. He was going to hit the buckshot clearly on Hobbs, and then he just beats the shit out of all the security guys and does his business. And then obviously we will hear from him a little bit later as well. So, yeah.
Oh, and then before that, though, I mean, we were just jumping all over the place. We did have a little bit of a backstage segment with FTR after showing them in the Bang Bang Gang last week on Collision, where it looks like they're stepping up to face them for the tag titles this coming week. She's basically talking down on them, basically saying, like, Stokely addressing that they were interrupted, and they're saying, you want to be champions for Colton and for Jay White? You want to be champions for two guys to pop the injured reserve list instead of inspiring other wrestlers, doing it for AEW to leave a legacy. Cash talking about how the last time they beat the Guns for the titles when they were champions, FTR always wins when it matters. That one when you guys got over us will never happen again. And then basically it's just Axe doubling down on them and everything. So just basically saying, like, by the time we're done, you're not going to be anything more than Billy's son and Mr. Storm. And how you only have a job because of your father, but in this title, that's my life. And if you put your hands on my life again, I dare you to do it. I dare you.
Loved it. Yeah, it was good.
It was good. And
Mr. Storm. I thought that made me chuckle. That made me chuckle.
There are worse things to be called other than
yes, there are. Storm. I would happily be called that if I'd be like, yep, all right, fine, you can call me that.
Yeah. I mean, look at the material. But Renee Paquette backstage with Don Callis, Kazuchika Okada, and Kyle Fletcher talk about, it's safe to say that the Bucks aren't going to join the Don Callis family after all. It's like, and Don's like, why do you always have to ask me these negative questions and everything? And then Okada's talking about how it's kind of Takeshita's fault that all this happened, but all this is as we're going through why exactly the international title is not up for grabs in the C2. To which they acknowledge, like, well, we're not going to do anything with the international title unless we have to.
Yep. Cool. Then why the fuck's it there?
Yeah.
If you
explaining the whole like separate legs of the fucking
whatever.
If
man.
Johnny has 5 apples and you take one away,
You know?
what? When does it turn into a grapefruit? Because this is literally what the fucking comparison feels like.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still whatever. I'm just gonna pretend everything is simple. And I'm just going to enjoy this Continental Classic and just pretend that everything is simple.
Yeah.
That's all.
And then Kyle just reiterating, well, regardless, 3 of us already got points on the board, so we're practically guaranteed that the Continental Championship will end up back at the Don Callis family at the end of the tournament. And the international title ain't going anywhere. Which, clearly, if you're not going to defend it, why would it go anywhere?
It's not. Clearly. Yes.
But then we come back from break. Hangman's backstage. He's pissed as hell, basically saying it took him 3 years to get that world title back. He fought everybody to get it. And the person who cost him the title was Hook. You know what? He's saying for Joe, that was the Ops crowning moment, but it was a bump in the road for me. And you know what? It doesn't matter if it's going to be Joe or Eddie. After next week, he's coming for the title. But he tells Shibata and Hobbs he's going to wait for them next week, but he's not going to be alone. So.
Swerve.
Which, by the way, am I in the minority that does not like the new theme song?
I mean, I thought his first theme song was just a classic.
Like that is like
A
a
classic.
stone cold glass break. Like as soon as you heard like Whose House,
Swerve.
and you
Yeah.
can't really do like the Prince Nana stuff to the new. I just
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure we'll all get used to it, and it's not a bad song, but I just think when his regular theme is just an iconic
it's like
theme,
when
and the
Mina.
dance and everyone sings, and
Remember when Mina had the theme when she debuted officially as part of AEW for that one night, and they didn't even play it when she won. They went back to her old Stardom music.
Yeah.
That's what it felt
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except they're not going back to the Stardom music. Which
No,
sad, but
no, I don't think they will. But
you know, it is what it is. But we do have our big main event in the Blue League this time. Both members of the Death Riders. You got Claudio Castagnoli, who over Thanksgiving weekend became the CMLL World Heavyweight Champion, going 1-on-1 against Jon Moxley. Which the only thing that I will point out is after the bell rang, we did see Marina Shafir kind of still at ringside, and I think they all kind of forgot about that until Bryce had to shoo her away. Like, I don't think it was anything where like they meant to like make it seem like she was going to cost Mox the match. I just think they genuinely forgot, like, oh shit, Continental Rule, she can't be.
Yeah, like you can't be out here. Yeah, yeah, that was funny, and this was a match I was looking forward to, big time.
Yeah, and I love the fact that even when it's Death Rider on Death Rider, they don't care. They'll beat the shit out of anybody for that.
No, dude, Moxley was bleeding. Yeah, Moxley was bleeding his ass off like usual. I
feel like he was more bloody in this than he was in the No Holds Barred match, which is crazy to say.
He sure was. He sure was. Yeah, and this is what I expected. I expected both of these guys to go all out and give us this type of match. It was great. I was very interested to see what they were going to do as far as the finish of this match and who was going to go over, because I thought that the guy who ended up winning should have won this match with what the story they're telling with Moxley and the Death Riders. This match was incredible. This was really good. I know we said that Fletcher and Kevin Knight was the match of the night, and I think it was, but this one was right there. This one was right there with it.
Kyle Fletcher and Kevin Knight, they had a very big, like, high-flying affair that was phenomenal. This was just about being ruthless and getting your hands dirty and just fighting.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
and this...
It just happened to also be a really good, like, when it got technical, it was very good. That's just a good old-fashioned, I'm going to beat the shit out of you for the love of the game and move on for some points. And we see that big running uppercut that Claudio hits to get a clean pin over Mox 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Mox has been putting over the boys all summer, all fall.
Yeah, and listen, and that's what he should be doing. And then you even said it, like, post-match, Danielson on commentary, he said, look at when we were and he mentioned, he goes, when it was the Blackpool Combat Club, I couldn't beat Jon Moxley, so I saw him as the leader.
Yeah.
And he's like, and now Claudio just beat Jon Moxley, so what does that mean? And then you had the, like, Marina Shafir is like kneeling next to him and is kind of looking at him like he's a sad puppy.
But
and then
Claudio.
Yeah, and then Yuta comes over and he's kind of like you know, he gives him a little tap on the shoulder, like, you did your best, bud. You did your best. And it's just kind of like, you know, it started with and he's been losing to Kyle and tapping out Darby. Like, this is what they're building
he has to lose to Pac too, right?
I thought, I'm going to be honest with you, once they announced it, because they're in different groups. He's in the blue. No, he's in the blue group. Pac's in the gold. Right. My thought process was, I thought Moxley should have lost all his matches. Now, he obviously beat Dorada in the first match, which is fine. But I was of the belief that I was like, Moxley should go winless. Like, he should just absolutely crash out and go winless in this tournament. But I think honestly, him losing to Claudio kind of makes up for it. Yeah, he should lose to Takeshita.
Yeah.
He already lost to Claudia.
He's going to lose to Orange Cassidy.
He should lose to OC.
Because that's going to be a callback to him winning the international title to begin with. So
yeah, I was of the belief that he should have lost. But I understand him beating Dorada because that would just kind of be way out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't think we needed Dorada in the C2 for being real.
Yeah.
He's been having good matches, don't get me wrong, but it's just like...
Every one of these other matches that he's in, I look at it and I go, yeah, Moxley should lose that match. Yeah. He should lose them all.
So Dorada's going to have, the 2023 Daniel Garcia run where he doesn't win a single match in the tournament?
Yeah, probably. He's just going to have great matches, and he's going to lose to every single person.
As long as they don't do that shit with Speedball Mike Bailey, I am A-okay.
Yeah. I'm hoping Speedball doesn't get the OFA.
I really hope No, I mean, it'd be fucking insane as if it ends up being Darby of all people. Just
I
because
think
he
I
can
think
stay in
yeah.
fighting shape.
I think Darby is a candidate where you could make that interesting and creative if you wanted to. Yeah.
Yeah, let Darby, who has the durability of a piece of wet paper, like let him be the one that's constantly just like getting knocked down, having to fight his way back, just because he does not know how to sit still for 2 fucking seconds to
Yeah.
stay healthy enough for a tournament.
Yeah, like I don't think Darby beats.
At this point, let Darby hit rock bottom. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think Darby beats Fletcher. I don't think Darby beats Pac. I don't think Darby beats Okada. He already lost to Kevin Knight. I could see him beating Speedball. But like,
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, but I mean that will do it for when we said a loaded episode of Dynamite, this was a loaded episode of Dynamite.
Oh, it was. It was really good.
And now we got winners coming next week, again, live on the air. I'm excited for that one. We're going to finally crown our first ever AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions, which I'm super excited about. We got the men's world title up for grabs. It's going to be a loaded show, and I can't wait for that. But until then, JPJ, what do you have for us to wet our whistle on?
Yeah, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, Love Wrestling Between Two Beards. Pluggo and I. Pluggo was at Dynamite tonight, so we'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about, unfortunately, we'll have to go through and talk about Survivor Series and all that stuff. We got our friends from the Ope 3-Way podcast joining us tomorrow as well for that show, so that should be a fun time. And then you can check me out, obviously, every Monday and Wednesday here on Body Slam. Wednesdays with you, Mondays with the fellas over on Raw Dogs. But if you follow me at JPJ Loves Gaming, you can kind of see my schedule there. I tell you where I'm streaming games, where I'm at. I do a ton of stuff. So yeah, give me a follow. It's usually my pinned tweet. It comes out every Monday. So go check it out and check me out, man.
Yeah, I know for me, kind of taking it a little bit easier in December just because it's been a whirlwind of a year. So every Wednesday, you're still going to see me here for DynaMic'd Up like usual. This week, I'm probably going to throw on a Twitch stream playing some Valorant like I usually do. So twitch.tv/Jose in the air. For the reading people of the group, you can check out my new book talk account, Jose Can You Read? So that's the letter U, then read, next to Can You, but yes. And also, as part of the Hive Media, you're going to see me at the end of the month covering Heated Rivalry over on HBO Max. An adaptation from the book by Rachel Reed, which is not for the faint of heart.
Now I don't know anything about this. So this is a sex book, like an adult novel about hockey?
Oh, yeah. So long story short, it's a premise between two rival hockey players that kind of like have an enemies to lovers connection that goes on throughout many different years of their career and kind of figuring out, oh shit, what are we going to do now? But the book is very,
and they're making it a TV show.
Yeah. Like a 6
on
episode,
HBO, like an actual on HBO.
Yeah, it's already starting to air.
Oh, it's already up.
Yeah, apparently one of the actors is giving most of the men watching the show body dysmorphia. I will let you Google what I mean by that because it's kind of obvious. But yeah, no, it's a steamy show. It's faithful to the books. I've read the books. I'm going to have my season wrap up.
How many books are there? So
the series, it's 6 books, but the 2 main characters are the only couple that have 2 books of their own within the series.
Got
the
it.
Universe is a 6-book set.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
Just know what you guys are getting into because book talk don't.
I know nothing about it.
Yeah. You might need to.
I'm excited.
Reading some of this shit.
Listen, I'm in. Okay. I'm ready.
I know Josh is in. So.
Yeah. Well, listen. I assume what you meant is that one of the guys has a hammer, so it is what it is. So.
Well, I mean, he is Russian, so I mean.
Yeah, there you go.
Until then, we will see you guys back here next week. Body Slam Net on all the socials. Body Slam PWN on Patreon. Get those exclusive scoops a lot quicker than a lot of the other sites. Jorge's busting his ass over it on
Patreon.
Is. You got more additions to the Body Slam crew with Victor Perry joining us as well too. You still have our compatriots over doing the Sunday special for Collision with Al. Come on. We got you covered for everything, guys. Raw Dogs. I mean, anything you need. NXT with Nashi right here, Body Slam Nut. And we will see you guys next week for another episode of DynaMic'd Up. So until then, take care. Have a good night, y'all.
Oh, thank you. Oh,